Alright, here we go. This is going to be the season finale of Death Battle Volume 5. Thanos of Marvel versus Darkseid of DC. Wow, that sounded creepier than how I would imagine, but score. This is the Battle of the Gods, Part 5. Now, it is part 5 because let me review for a minute. The first one was Kratos versus Spawn. Kratos from God of War and Spawn, the resurrected hero, anti-hero. You also had Thor versus Raiden of Mortal Kombat. Then you had Season 2 Goku versus Superman 2. And we all know how that ended. If not, you go watch. I'm not going to spoil anything for you there. And last season we had Thor versus Wonder Woman. Now those were exciting death battles. But how will this go? Now, early on, I know I made a prediction last week, a few weeks ago, and I was right. I called Roshi over Jiraiya. But this is now we're to this week, and it's going to be. I'm going to say my vote has gone to the dark side. I'm putting a little Star Wars into this because let's face it, it is the dark side. So let's get going with the death battle.
Some spend entire lives in search of it, while for others, it is their birthright. But what truly matters in the end is how it's used.
Like with Thanos, the ultimate villain of the Avengers.
And Darkseid, arch nemesis to the Justice League.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who
It's in 3D! It's in 3D! Oh boy!
Over 1 million years ago, when mankind's evolution first broke away from the apes, the cosmic celestials arrived on Earth. They experimented on the human race, creating 3 separate variants. The powerful and beautiful Eternals, destined for immortality. Those with a latent mutated gene, which would one day spawn the X-Men. And a deformed, disturbing subspecies known as the Deviants.
Like that one website with all the porn.
What?
DeviantArt.
The Eternals
I am on there, so, I have some of those ass shippings.
Whose collar's like the lampshade I put on my dog to make him stop licking his junk.
Charming. But while the Eternals seemed like the perfect people, Mentor's own son would change this forever and force the cosmos to its knees. His name was Thanos.
You were a fool to betray me, Ronan. Prepare to meet your doom.
Thanos was born into a life of luxury. Sure, his mom went totally insane and tried to kill him right away, but what do you think you'd do if you popped out a creepy California raisin baby?
It seems the Celestials' experiments
That's a good point.
so different from each other. Despite
I mean,
his eternal
birth effects aside.
Thanos' large, disproportionate body and thick purple skin were thanks to a deviant mutation.
Which you'd think would mean everyone would hate him. But nope, the Eternals were super progressive and totally cool with a wrinkly grimace walking around.
See? Progressives.
In fact, Thanos
We're getting a little,
was greatly admired
little
for his
political.
exceptional intelligence and creativity. He was set for a positive and decorated future.
Until he threw it all away for a girl. Hey, I don't blame him. Lots of guys do crazy shit for hot chicks. Especially when you're a secret murder-happy psycho who's obsessed with the physical manifestation of death.
To earn Death's reciprocal love, Thanos took a journey.
Death loves Thanos
To ravage
and
the universe
Deadpool.
in her name.
That's
And
weird.
As an Eternal, he had plenty of superhuman power to do it. He was already the strongest and fastest Eternal around, but he boosted his power even more with bionic and magic enhancements.
And while his physical and psionic abilities are impressive, his incredible genius led to building massive spaceships, shields that can withstand planet-level attacks, and even a time window.
And the most badass.
Knowing that,
It comes packed with its
knowing about Thor's Mjolnir,
travel,
that's not good for Darkseid.
time.
And unlike most Eternals, Thanos has also dabbled in the mystic arts. Petrification, curses, even some of his throne's abilities seem to be more magic than hard science. All of this potential makes Thanos an incredibly dangerous foe.
Yeah, good luck trying to hurt him. He can survive pretty much anything, including a gun specifically designed to kill him. He even shot himself in the face with it just to prove how goddamn awesome he is. Don't try that at home, kids.
He's
No.
strong enough to overpower 2 Thors at once. Snap
No,
the universal weapon known for its extreme
There's no such thing as
durability.
suicide by accident. You pull a gun on yourself, you forget it.
A giant super rocket big enough to move planets.
Forget it.
According to Mr. Fantastic, and that guy knows his stuff, this thing is hundreds of miles long.
While the Galactus engine's size seems to vary from comic to comic, Reed's assertion matches its appearance when it propelled Ego the Living Planet. By examining the
Ego.
separate parts, applying the density of steel, and comparing Ego's diameter of 4,000.
I'm not a big comic fan, so
must be lifting about
bear with me.
50 quintillion tons. That's like holding up 140 trillion Empire State Buildings.
And he's doing this inside the gut of a living Kurt Russell planet that eats other planets and even stars. Man, I thought I had an iron stomach.
But destroying a star isn't a simple thing. Any energy directed toward a star would just be absorbed and adapted to. Only by completely nullifying a star's constant energy output can it be eliminated.
So Ego's stomach acid must be deadlier than frigging supernovas or a black hole. He'd probably love Mama Boomstick's world famous ghost pepper pie.
Ugh.
It's fine, just dip it in some squirrel paste.
Oh God, no! Boosting, no!
Considering he's also survived
I'm a guy who likes peanut butter a lot, so
extreme reality
no!
warping across the metaverse, and the voice of Black Bolt.
What's so special about this guy, you ask? Well, with just a whisper, he obliterated 1 billion tons of rock. This guy can easily break a planet with just one shout, and Thanos took 3 of them to the face.
Although Thanos isn't known for being a speedster character, he's still quick enough to
boy.
battle the likes of Silver Surfer, a being who can cover 500,000 light years in just a couple of seconds, putting him over 3 trillion times faster than light.
Yeesh.
With so many impressive showings, it's hard to truly find a weakness.
Except for one.
Deadpool!
Damn it.
Thank you.
What is Deadpool doing here?
Be here. It's me, Deadpool, slayer of deathstrokes, befriender of ponies, and breaker of mad titan hearts. And like
Not to mention the fourth wall, Doobus!
Can't get enough of me. Thanos just hates that.
Oh,
Well, Thanos did curse him so he couldn't die and be with her.
I know, right? He's a big purple crybaby. Have you seen that chin, though? It's like he got hit in the face with a slap chop.
Don't you have like a party in Ponytown to be at?
Ah, come on, buddy. You can't have a death battle season without Deadpool, right?
We did. The last one.
Nobody counts that one. I mean, that's a year you pit a dog.
well, also the first season.
There.
I mean, the first season he never appeared, so it's like,
Yeah.
Whatever. I know I'm not wanted. See you next year. DP out.
Oh, good riddance.
Even with all of these powers and abilities, Thanos still felt he
I thought there was gonna be something funny about this.
dead.
Boom.
He's compensating for something with.
Oh, absolutely. So he built the Infinity Gauntlet, a golden glove
There
which
it is.
harnessed the power of 6 multicolored gems, known as Infinity Stones. With these, he could control the full spectrum of space, reality, mind, power, soul, and time.
And with those powers combined, he summons Captain Planet.
No, he doesn't!
More like the destruction of half the universe, but sure, whatever.
Oh boy.
Same difference. But wait, isn't the Time Stone the green one in Doctor Strange's necklace?
Well, in the movie universe, the Time Stone is green, but in the original comic series, it's orange. This is because every universe has its own unique Infinity Gauntlet that works exclusively there. And sometimes the stones are different in color. Here, just follow this handy diagram I made.
Yeah, don't care. So with all the stones, he wiped out
course,
half the universe
Boomstick
with
doesn't
only
care.
a snap of his fingers. But he also started going a bit crazy and began to doubt his ability to perform. Hey, happens to the best of us.
Mentality
Yet it never keeps
breakdown.
the Mad Titan at bay for long, whose constant lust for power and godly status in the universe is only matched by his drive to just kill everybody.
Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same. And
Loki
now it's here.
did not like his appearance.
I am.
Oh, now it's time for the Darkseid.
10 billion years ago, the primeval old gods clashed in a cosmic civil war called Ragnarok.
That the one with Thor and Jeff Goldblum?
No. Yes, kind of.
Which
The
is it?
battle was so great that the result was an explosion that tore the gods asunder, sending a great god wave throughout the metaverse, eventually birthing a new generation known as the New Gods.
How original!
Yeah.
Some of these include Alpine Space Skier, Fancy Pants Shakespeare, and this cyborg spider Humpty Dumpty.
That's not Mordok.
Ended up on a beautiful paradise world called New Genesis, while the rest got stuck on an actual
not bad.
called Apocalypse. With a K.
Of course.
These damn souls
Edgy.
was Prince Yuki,
Mortal Kombat.
second in line to the throne behind his older brother Drax. Not Dave Bautista Drax, but DC Drax.
Gotcha.
Man, I really like that guy. He's not afraid to see what he's thinking.
You are horrifying to look at, yes.
To rule Apocalypse, Drax was meant to enter the mysterious Omega Pit and absorb the Omega Effect, a force of destructive entropy bound within Apocalypse.
But being the crafty bastard he was, Euxis tricked DC Drax into getting killed and stole the loot for himself.
And so the Omega Effect transformed Euxis into the physical manifestation of tyranny.
Darkseid.
Now you die.
As the
Hello.
king of Apocalypse, Darkseid entered a war on the universe. Whether he was kicking new
Okay, Darkseid is older than
Give him
Thanos.
a hard time. Darkseid
Taller.
was always working toward his one goal, conquering all life.
And thanks to his new god physiology, he has incredible superhuman strength, speed, agility, and even immortality. He's already over 245,000 years old, and that's given him plenty of time to push the limits of the Omega Effect.
He's got a whole bunch of cool Omega powers that break all the rules of nature. He can teleport across time and space, fly at unthinkable speeds, warp reality around him, and grow supersized.
Something he's pretty used to doing. The scale between the Prime
He always
Universe
believes
and
he's
Darkseid's own
bigger than
universe,
everything
the
else.
world is vast. He travels between universes via boom tubes, which automatically adjusts his size to what is considered normal within his destination. Otherwise, he'd have a hard time fitting in, given that the normal size of a new god is about the size of a star.
Haha, yeah, I've had that kind of trouble with my boomstick too.
He can use various psionic powers like telekinesis and telepathy, and can easily manipulate sentient beings thanks to a cosmic awareness of the multiverse powered by 18 divine senses.
We have 5, he's got 13 more.
Like a space-age necromancer, Darkseid can possess living or deceased beings, controlling them like puppets. He can even control basic inanimate objects, just like the Nomad of Nowhere.
What? Holy shit! Well,
He might need to stop drinking.
but I might have had too much to drink.
But Darkseid's deadliest technique is his signature.
My words exactly.
These burning lasers of hatred are capable of instant sharp turns and tracking multiple targets at once.
They're spraying up. They can do that? They're locked on us.
On contact, the beams can either disintegrate their target, transmute matter, erase beings from existence,
Oh,
or
yeah,
trap
that one.
enemies in the Omega Sanction. The Omega Sanction is a sort of life trap. Its target enters a self-contained reality where they live out an infinite number of lives for eternity.
Oh, that doesn't sound so bad. I'd just do a Bill Murray and use all those lives to learn piano or save a dog or... Yeah, that's probably about it.
Well, there's a catch. Each life in the Sanction gets progressively worse as it goes, including how you die. When the third Mr. Miracle was trapped in it, he was fairly unaware, until he was beaten, burned, mutilated, and castrated, broken to a point of intentionally overdosing. And that was just his first.
1,000 deaths, taking a new turn.
No thanks, I'm good.
To overpower the multiverse, Darkseid would face some pretty steep competition. However, his power eclipses those of even some of the strongest heroes around.
Superman for one.
Enough to take a trip to the source wall in just a few seconds.
Probably taking on Superman and Wonder Woman at the same time and being both.
You're not gonna be able to map quest that shit.
The edge of the observable universe is about 45
Futurama.
light years away, and scientists hypothesize the actual scale is over 106 trillion times greater. It took a whole year for the legendary Helm of Nabu to make this journey. But for Darkseid, all of 5 seconds. To pull this off, he'd have to be moving over 87 duodecillion times the speed of light.
Damn!
Is totally a real number that I understand. But if he's super big in fourth world...
To the 39th power.
We're factoring
God!
across his universe as a whole. Besides, technically the fourth world is 4 billion years older than our own universe, so the distance to the edge is probably even further.
He's so quick, he
Nice.
can choke out Superman before he even sees him move, or knock him out cold in just a few bitch slaps. And Superman can survive supernovas to the face. Also, since Darkseid wasn't affected by the Crisis Mega Reboot, it's still canon that he can blitz pre-Crisis suits, who can sneeze solar systems away.
Darkseid is strong enough to crush a lantern ring with ease, destroy planets with his Omega Beams, and wipe out the Justice League with a single strike. Even with all of this power, Darkseid believed he could not dominate the universe until he discovered his ultimate prize, the anti-life equation.
Ha! I knew numbers were bad for you. Take that, Miss Jensen, and your stupid ruler.
Yeah.
The anti-life is technically an entity of its own, a fragmented piece of the source from which all life originates. However, Darkseid discovered a formula which essentially manipulates the anti-life's presence in all living things, in a manner which definitively proves that all freedom and hope are meaningless efforts.
So it's math that just makes you sad.
Yes, and a slave to Darkseid, but yes. So the anti-life is pretty weird, but you know what's even more so? The Darkseid that you think you know isn't actually Darkseid.
Say what?
Wait.
He became the very essence of tyranny itself. This non-corporeal god rests in the higher plane of Fourth World and molds avatars of his consciousness to interact with the multiverse around him. While each avatar is weaker than his true
Wow.
self, it's a necessary handicap, as his own existence in a universe other than Fourth World would shatter the laws of reality, ending time and space as we know it. The sheer power of the Omega Effect threatens entire cosmos, similar to how its equal, the Astroforce, could counter an Oblivion bomb, capable of annihilating the universe in a single blast.
Holy shit! His avatar may lose some power, but it's still tough enough to survive a bomb Lex Luthor designed to rip apart existence, and a shot from Marvelous Marno's Master Blaster, which sounds like it was made up by a circus clown. And that kind of makes sense because apparently no life form can stand up to it, just like clowns.
Except for Darkseid.
Well, Darkseid isn't immune to all guns. All you need is a neat little Radion bullet.
Think of Radion as the new god's kryptonite. Despite all his power, Darkseid is far from invincible. He's had his heart ripped out, his soul stolen by death, and his essence shattered by Superman, singing.
Hey, Darkseid, look at this photograph!
To this day, even after
They go back.
cataclysmic events, the Lord of Apocalypse continues his mission. Every living being in the multiverse will bend to the will of Darkseid.
It seems I have you to thank for my resurrection. Though your world will suffer slowly, I grant you a quick death.
Oh boy. We have a tough one here. The way it's going, Thanos is doomed. Thanos doesn't stand a chance in this one. I mean, in all essence, Darkseid can just get inside Thanos and just blow him from the inside out. And Thanos is not mentally stable. He does lash out. And when he lashes out, he loses all focus. So, and you have Darkseid, who is pretty much focus incarnate. So yeah, Darkseid, I'm going to say, is going to win this one. Oh boy. Talk about a way in Season 5. And I gotta say this one. My favorite 3 death battles this season. Sora of Kingdom Hearts vs. Pit of Kid Icarus. The Samurai battle, Jack vs. Afro. And of course the live action battle, Nightwing vs. Daredevil. But now it's time for a death battle, so let's go!
You can fly, you can teleport, it'll send you through time and space, and it's perfect for gaming.
Deadpool!
You're a forward-thinking man.
At last, there it is.
Hey, Thanos! Buddy! How are you doing? Rocking that chin as always.
Thank you!
My throne and kneel. Face death at the hand of your new emperor. You know not the infinite wealth of destruction I command.
Oh boy. This is it. Wait, he just got punched with the Infinity Gauntlet and did nothing. Oh boy, reality bending. I mean, here's the thing. Darkseid keeps his arms behind his back. I mean, this is just like Injustice 2. He keeps his arms behind his back. Don't know if he's trying to preserve strength or... Oh boy. Oh! Metallic chin music? And a helicopter. Of course, we're gonna go after the helicopter. Oh, because it's got Thanos on it! Man, what is this, Inception? Everything is just... I mean, I get it's the infinity reality gem going to work. But it feels like Inception, and I don't know if Thanos actually saw that movie. I know I didn't. Ooh, I don't think so. Oh boy. He just threw a planet. Into the sun. I don't think that's it.
Thanos. Thanos is supreme. Thanos is God.
Oh, that cannot be it. I had to go 1-1. Oh, here comes Darkseid. We're not done yet. This kind of reminds me of Segata Shinjiro versus Chuck Norris. We already know how that went. Spinning backhand. Uppercut. Talk about breaking reality. And there they both are. And they're still moving. Well, we have Thanos still moving.
These games bore me, but this will bring a smile to my face.
You don't have to worry.
Oh!
Who are you? Who are you?
I'll show you.
You had to go into that one, huh? You fell right before Darkseid's trap.
This is who I am.
Nope.
Reality is far from
It's a different dimension. The Infinity Gauntlet is useless.
I am all things. This is who I
That cannot be good.
Oh my god!
Deadpool and Lady Death! Oh. Oh, and that is it. I thought the Infinity Gauntlet might play a role. Kinda did. Oh.
So you watching any anime?
I am!
Oh man, that's the worst way he could have gone out. Because now he's gonna be dying over and over and over.
Thanos was an incredible foe, especially while wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. Unfortunately, the gauntlet had a fatal flaw.
Yeah, that golden glove only works in its own universe, and Darkseid could easily move the fight to new ones with his boomstick tubes. Universe hopping is kind of his thing.
The Reed Richards of
Right.
the Interdimensional Council of Reeds figured this out. Its 3 founding members, Reed, Reed, and Reed, each possessed Infinity Gauntlets, but discovered that they couldn't work outside of their own universes.
The gauntlet had no problem making Darkseid's avatar not feel so good. But since Darkseid's true form was always in the Fourth World universe, Thanos couldn't actually finish him off with the gauntlet.
Even if this fight took place in entirely neutral territory, the victor wouldn't change. Thanos' gauntlet wouldn't work, and true Darkseid's presence would actually just destroy everything just by being there.
But he didn't just lose because of the gauntlet. He really couldn't keep up with the space golem.
Even going toe-to-toe with a being as fast as Silver Surfer was nothing compared to when Darkseid took a trip to the edge of existence. This puts Darkseid almost 28 octillion times faster than Thanos.
And his Omega effect scales to the Astro Force, which could equal the Oblivion Bomb's universe-destroying blast. This means the Omega effect and Infinity Gauntlet were both pretty even in terms of destructive ability. But unlike Thanos, Darkseid can use his Omega powers whenever and wherever he wants.
Once he lost the gauntlet, Thanos could certainly survive star-level attacks, and even greater. But universal destruction is definitely a bit more than his purple Eternal Hide could handle. And even after that, Darkseid had plenty of ways to end the fight whenever he wanted, like the Omega Sanction.
Thanos was super powerful, but Darkseid was just faster, stronger, and even more ruthless.
And if you think about it, Thanos needed the Infinity Gauntlet to become a god, but Darkseid already was one.
Thanos just couldn't
Won
run.
the gauntlet!
Oh, you son of a bitch!
The winner is Darkseid.
Oh, yes! Darkseid
Hey,
wins!
thanks for watching this year's season finale. If you want the music from the battle, you can get it by clicking the link below. Or if you guys want to see Thanos and Darkseid in a rap battle, then just click that video right over there and check out our friends.
I'm not one of a rap, so I'm going to pass on that one. So Death Battle will return with a splash. Since it begins January 21st. Alright, well, I have to say this much. I thought Darkseid would win, and Darkseid won. My vote had gone to the dark side, and boy did it work out. Alright, well, Season 5 was a spectacular one. Sure, there were no spoof battles, unlike last year with McGruff and Smokey. But, I mean, it's not like we needed one. So, I mean, I know this is going a little far, but I'm just excited for this much. Here's what I want to see. What I want to see in Season 6. I know a lot of people are still coming after Wiz and Boomstick, or Ben Singer and Chad James, for Ruby Rose of Ruby and Maka Albarn of Soul Eater. And I got 2 other ones. I don't know if anyone is going to be interested in this one. I have a cat fight, actually. A double cat fight, if I would point it that way. Jessie and Meowth of Team Rocket of Pokemon, and Kari and Gatomon of the Digidestin of Digimon. And the last one I want to suggest, I don't know if you guys are going to be ready for this one. Katara from Avatar The Last Airbender versus Irma Layer of Witch, Guardians of Kandrakar. So I want you to give that thought in mind. So, Season 5, I've applauded you. You keep improving. You are better than the last season. That's what it is. You're better than the last season. And I hope Season 6 remains the same. If you want me to keep going on these death battles, hit me up. I'd like to do more. And if you'd like to do more, I can grant it to you. January 21st, I think we might have, with its splash, I think we might have the Inklings. Splatoon? Anyone?